Hello my dear students, welcome to another video class. So today I'm going to teach science of class 8 and we'll start a new lesson. So before starting the lesson, let's recall or remember some basic ideas which we have learned in previous class, like class 6-7, which will help you to understand today's topic easily. So altogether we have 7 subtopics in this lesson and we'll discuss only one. So let me help you to remember some basic ideas. We use different kinds of fuels for various purposes at home. So we use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home. In industry also, and for running automobiles. In industry also. And for running automobiles also we use fuels. So can you name, the question is, you must be familiar with different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industries and automobile. The question is, can you name a few fuels used in our homes? Like cow dung in ancient days, then we use charcoal, we use wood, we use LPG as a fuel at home. So what fuels are used for running automobiles? So what fuel are used for running automobiles? Automobiles the karamba makal ki fuel sizinai, petrol gumba, diesel gumba sizinai. So the next, this is also, you can see introduction part. Burning of candle. You must be familiar with burning of candle. Candle may thava, candle thava, burning of candle. Candle than bahar se. Appropriate over candle than. You must be familiar with the burning of a candle. What is the difference between burning of a candle and the burning of a fuel? So the question is, what is the difference between burning of a candle and burning of a fuel? Burning of a candle ga, burning of a candle ga, burning of a fuel ga. Fuel see, to be specific, like coal, coal as an example. So burning of a candle the flame yawe. The difference is candle burns with a flame and whereas coal does not. So the flameless flameless way, no flame. Sorry, no flame. So burning of a fuel like coal, you will not observe any kind of flame. Burning of a candle, you will observe or you will see flame. So today we are going to study the chemical process. So today we are going to study the chemical Today we are going to study the chemical process. chemical process of burning, and the types of flame produced during this process. So today we are going to study the chemical process of burning and the types of flame produced during this process. So this is related. So today's topic is, or the name of the lesson is, combustion and flame. Name of the lesson is combustion and flame, and this is lesson number, or you can say in your textbook it is given chapter number 6, lesson number 6, page number, you will find this lesson at page number 64. Lesson number 6, combustion and flame, chemistry ni. So as I told you in the starting of the lecture, this particular lesson contains 7 subtopics, and today we will discuss only one subtopic. So we will start with the first topic of today's lesson, or today's lecture, sorry. First topic of today's lecture, and which is also the first topic of this lesson. What is combustion? This is given in page number 64. So in class 7 we have learned, or we have discussed about burning of magnesium. Magnesium riven, to be precise. Magnesium riven. So from that activity we learned that magnesium burns to form magnesium oxide. From that activity we learned that magnesium riven burns to form magnesium oxide and produce heat and light. So we can perform a similar activity with a piece of charcoal. So similar activity means this burning process can be done by taking another materials, for example charcoal. So in order to burn a charcoal, we can hold charcoal with a piece of tongs and bring it near the flame of the candle or a Bunsen burner. So when we burn charcoal, or when you burn charcoal, you will find that charcoal burns in air, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. So the activity that we have learned in class 7 about the burning of magnesium, that activity can be repeated by using different material, that is charcoal. So when we burn charcoal, that means charcoal also burns in air, and the product will be carbon dioxide. Since the main composition of charcoal is carbon, after burning it is converted to carbon dioxide, and we will also get heat and light. So in this burning of charcoal also we get heat and light. So here it is the definition of combustion, that a chemical process, physical nate, chemical, a chemical process in which a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen from air to give off heat is called combustion. It's called combustion. So the definition of combustion is a chemical process. Obviously there will be a change in the composition of the starting material since it is chemical change. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen from air to give off heat is called combustion. Followed by combustible material. The substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible. Substance combustible substance substance combustion thoiba substance combustible substance. And combustion thoke haragadi combustible material hojata hai. It is also called a fuel. It is also called a fuel. And the fuel may be high combustible material natraga fuel si solid OBI, liquid OBI, or gas OBI. Solid OBI, liquid OBI, gas OBI. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. Along with the heat, combustion thoku matamda heat pithori. Along with the heat, light pithori pusyawi. Masigi light si in the form of either as a flame or thorope, either as a glow and malagatu. So magnesium. So far we have discussed about burning of magnesium and burning of charcoal. Magnesium or charcoal is a combustible substance. And one of the important points which is also given in textbook, in page number 64, is regarding the food as a fuel of our body. Food as a fuel of our body. Food as a fuel of our body. Food is a kind of fuel or no. Yes, rightly, food is our fuel. Kamina food when it's broken down. Digestion broken down to simpler substance. Simpler substance reacts with oxygen. Blood oxygen reaction to heat pithore. Food fuel. We get energy from food. Next point is combustible and non-combustible. Next is combustible and non-combustible. Combustible, non-combustible. Combustible है mai chakpa ngamba substance ko combustible kawi. Mai chakpa ngamba that burns aita. That burns aita mai chakpa ngamba. Sibu ko combustible kawi ngamda non-combustible. Example or wood gumba mai chai, paper gumba. May chakta the iron nail example. Stone may chakpa ngamda non-combustible. So now the question is, what are the conditions required for combustion? Combustion to ke hai taragadi kai sangi conditions conditions for combustion. Conditions for combustion. Conditions for mai chake haragadi combustible material combustible substance mai chak pa yab polam. Then mathangda when ignition temperature tamani. Ignition temperature. Ignition temperature kaino tak to music. Ignition temperature tamani. Then mathangda supply of oxygen. Conditions for combustion. Combustion thoke haragidi for hum changi. Number 1 the combustible substance, number 2 ignition temperature, number 3 oxygen. So the conditions required for combustions are these 3. So both substances sini atrachi masigi topic hum sini, and we will discuss about combustible substance. We have already discussed the combustion that burns, substance that burns or separate substance that can undergo combustion is called combustible material or combustible substance. Tamgre adu matung da kone tamduisi ignition temperature ka oxygen ka. Oxygen jin kai digi lakpa air digi lakpa. Oxygen haran energy. Oxygen changi ignition temperature changi. Oxygen haran energy. Oxygen from air. That means air is necessary for combustion, or air is essential for combustion. Air, to be specific, oxygen air is essential for burning. Air is essential for burning. So, like the PC activity 6.2 the P. Candle, you can perform this activity at your home also. Candle ama thanba kum dabida amano kum janba amano without lead kum yawdaba with lead kum yawragadi sigi mai mut khiniya. So when you go through activity 6.2 or when you perform this activity at your home, you will find that the light turns off in the absence of air. Adana combustion air is necessary. From this activity, we observe that light turns off when there is no supply of air. That means result is air is necessary for combustion. Air is necessary for combustion. Air is not available. Next is activity 6.3. Here in activity 6.3, here we are going to discuss ignition temperature. So for combustion, combustible substance is required. Number 2, we have discussed oxygen is required. Number 3, that is ignition temperature. So activity 6.4. Activity 6.4, page number 66. Ignition temperature. Ignition temperature. So it is essential for a substance to reach ignition temperature to burn. So the main point is, it is essential for a substance to reach ignition temperature to burn. Mai chak ke hai taragadi ignition temperature yodragadi chakpa ngamwe. So the question is, what is ignition temperature? Example khara lausi aduga gyan tanaba. The question is, does a matchstick burn by itself? Does the matchstick burns by itself? My kids matanda chakra. Burning of paper kamai chai masigi matchstick amakha pusalakpa mada burning matchstick amana che si phalau chahan mangami masigi makhet sina lighted matchstick amana piece of wood chahan biagatra piece of wood si burn to biagatra by a lighted matchstick. So the question is, does the matchstick burns by itself? Makin marusi mathanda saksabra ani shum matamda chi ama mai thaw matamda lighted matchstick amana thaw yabra yai ahum subada ngasai gi lighted matchstick makin maru akhetpa amana usu mai thaw yagatra yaroi ahum subisidi yaroi and uama mai thagi hai taragadi akhoina. So we need a kerosene oil to start fire in wood or coal. Kerosene oil nataga cheng munam chalaga mai thani khoina and uama mai thagi hai taragadi lighted matchstick tangna yaroi. Lighted matchstick cannot burn wood. We require kerosene oil, or we require paper. Masi kai maram you know. Different substance catch fire. So machine कहता है इस मसी एक्टिविटी कहता है मतलब different substances catch fire at different temperature So different substances catch fire at different temperature. So here comes the definition of ignition temperature. That is the lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. Adana potsak combustible material ama mai chake hairagadi magi minimum changdriba yadraba maduguma temperature ama lay potsak khudingi amaga temperature amaga madugi minimum temperature du manade madugi minimum temperature du yaudriba phawadi potsak adu chaoi substance khene by matungina minimum temperature ju khene madugi minimum temperature in order for a substance to catch fire madu minimum temperature du khoina ignition temperature kawi. So in sigi activity to the paper ga wood kada paper gina my ignition temperature si low ignition temperature hai. Ignition temperature ki example amaga laroga yengsi. Activity 6.4 activity 6.4 GM fill GM mai tha GM da this is paper. So we try to burn a paper or this is only paper, and other is paper containing water. See the burn, only paper see the burn mai chakrani, see the mai chawe. See the ising zero is harlakani. And the heat see paper na heat see paper dagi kaida transfer to give ising the transfer to give. So water in this cup become hot. The heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction. So the heat supplied to the paper the period heat C is transferred to the water the transfer to water by conduction. Water the transfer to water by conduction. So in the presence of water, the initial temperature of the paper is not reached. Ising yauna maram moidana ignition temperature si paper ignition temperature si yawungamdo. So in this ignition temperature of paper is not reached, hence it does not burn. Aduna asagi heat si paper dagi asai ising the transfer to give maram moidana transfer heat matang is point tawre. Lesson number 4, the heat high chapter to the we have discussed 3 types of transfer of heat. One is conduction, one is convection, and one is radiation. So, in the presence of water, the heat from the paper is transferred to water by conduction. So the ignition temperature of paper is not reached, hence it does not burn. So next point is inflammable substances. Substances which have very low. The substances which have very low ignition temperature, very low ignition temperature is very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire line may chaku namagadi are called inflammable substance kawi. Ignition temperature se yam neman gidana mai je yam thu chak masibu inflammable substance kawi. Example, petrol gumba, liquefied petroleum gas gumba. So the substances which have very low ignition temperature is yam neman gidana they can be easily, or they catch fire easily. Madu substances inflammable substances kawi. Example the petrol, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. So with this I'll summarize what we have learned today. The remaining topic will be discussed in the next class. So far we have discussed that the substance which burn in air are called combustible. Then for combustion ke changi oxygen changi, this combustible substance changi, then ignition temperature changi. The ignition temperature have the lowest temperature or minimum temperature of a substance to catch fire. Mai chak na bagi damangta combustible substance amana mai chak na bagi damangta changi ba minimum temperature to bukun ignition temperature kawi. Masigi temperature si yaudriba phawpa combustible substance to mai chawai. And during the process of combustion, during the process of combustion, the pithori hai heat and light pithori hai. then inflammable substance habidi karino haigre inflammable substance habidi very low ignition temperature very low ignition temperature leiba madugumba substance bu akoina inflammable substance kawi. So now evaluation. So I will write down some questions which will help you to check whether you have understand the topic or not. So try to find the answers of these questions. You are not supposed to write the answer in your class 1 notebook. What do you mean by the term combustion? Combustion habdi karino by the term combustion. Question number 2, list conditions under which combustion can take place. Combustion thopada kai sangi. Question number 1 is what do you mean by the term combustion? Question number 2 is list conditions under which combustion can take place. So please try to find the answers of these questions, which will help you to check whether you have understand the topic or not. So with this I conclude today's lecture. So the remaining topic of lesson number 6 will be discussed in the next class or next lecture. Thank you. So I repeat, please try to find the answers of the questions which I have given in the evaluation part. Thank you.